If you've been playing Animal Crossing for years, there is a very strong possibility that your island is in a bit of a state, with half-finished builds everywhere, remnants of custom codes long forgotten, and maybe an attempt or two at making a yard which is Instagram-worthy, all just cluttering up your island. And the thought of clearing up your island and getting it back to how it was feels overwhelming at best. However, there is a solution to that problem which can really save you time. The 3.0 update brought back a beloved Animal Crossing character and gave him a new job, which makes island cleanup so much easier. And in this video, I'm going to take you through this amazing feature and why it will really make a difference in decorating your island. In Animal Crossing New Horizons, Resetti has a new service called the Reset Service, where his job is to help you clean up your island so that you can either start decorating again or for the first time. As with most things in Animal Crossing New Horizons, you only get access to Resetti when you achieve a 3-star island rating. And if you need help with getting 3 stars, I have a whole video about how to do it, which I will link above. Once you've achieved a 3-star island, on a random non-event day, you will find Resetti wandering around your island. When you speak to him, he will tell you about the Reset Service and offer you 3 different versions of this. If you cannot find Resetti and you've definitely had a 3-star rating, you can also go into Resident Services and speak to Isabelle. She has a new option which will enable you to call Resetti to turn up onto your island at any point. However, this option is only available if you have had Resetti turn up once on your island before, you have spoken to him, and you've received a letter in the mail from Resetti telling you that this service is available. The different services that you can choose from Resetti are a full island reset, a beach cleanup, or you can ask Resetti to clear up a space on your island. These kind of work as you would expect them to. The full island reset will involve Resetti clearing out your whole island, including your beaches and beach rocks, whilst choosing to clear out your beach will only see your beaches and beach rocks cleared out. If you choose to select a section of your island to be cleaned up, it will give you a completely different option though. If you choose to go with the option to clear out a section of your island, Resetti will give you a transceiver, which you can use to call him to a section of your island that you want to be cleaned up. Head over to the area that you want to be touched and select the transceiver in your pockets and choose to call Resetti over. Doing this will highlight a 10x10 grid lot, which Resetti will clear out. This isn't the same size as a full-size grid on the map, but it's not far off. Everything within the yellow highlighted section will be removed. Unfortunately though, this size cannot be changed, so if the area you want clearing out is smaller than this, you may be better off choosing to clear the space for yourself. If it's larger than that, you may need to go over a few times to clear the space completely. Whichever option you choose to do, when you have decided you want to proceed with Resetti clearing up your island, you will see a preview of what it looks like before you commit to it. This way you can double check that everything you want clearing out will definitely go, and it will also show you if you've missed a spot if you chose to go down the route of resetting a smaller section. In addition to all of these options, Resetti has a nice little bonus where he will very kindly clear out any cockroaches which are living in your house. So if you didn't manage to grab them all when you were last in your house, Resetti has you covered, which is amazing to see as a bonus. So once you've decided to go with the route of Resetti clearing out your space, you want to be sure that everything is going to go, right? Well, this is where Resetti is both helpful and really not at exactly the same time. The one good thing with Resetti is that he will pick up all decorative items. This includes any furniture that you've placed down, fencing options, and any ladder setup kits that you have against cliffs. He will move these into your house storage, which saves you so much time when it comes to cleaning up your island. After this, Resetti will then ask you if you want any flowers to be picked up and also moved into your storage as well, which is incredible to see. He also asks you if you want any place custom codes to also be cleared up. So again, if you don't fancy clearing up any of your custom codes or your flowers, Resetti will help you out with that. If you choose to send your flowers to the storage, they will be there for you to pick up and use again in your decorating. However, if you're not using treasure islands to get more flowers, you may want to carefully consider if this is the right decision for you, as losing all the flowers can be a lot if you spent a lot of time breeding your flowers. The one big question that I've seen come up with Resetti is what happens to your items if you don't have enough space in your storage for everything to go. And fortunately for you, the Animal Crossing devs have thought about this. Resetti has a unique dialogue option where if you don't have space for every single item and flower which will be moved, Resetti will tell you exactly how many spaces you need to clear from your storage before you can use his service, which is really helpful if you want to make sure that you keep all of your items. However, as we know, the home storage upgrades are expensive. You don't need to upgrade if you want to keep all of your items if you really don't want to do it. You can choose to pick up items that you want to keep and just leave them in your pockets, or drop them on the beach or dispose of them in the same way. Otherwise, it's good to ask yourself the question of whether you really need to keep your flowers or if they really need to go into your storage should you need the extra space. Despite all of this though, Resetti is actually not 100% of a reset on everything that you've got on your island. The big things that Resetti doesn't clear up are any trees, bushes, crops, or weeds. So if you want those to be cleared up, you will need to do those yourself. Resetti also, for some reason, doesn't remove any in-game path, which does seem like an odd choice to make when custom codes are much quicker and easier to clear up than the in-game path already. Resetti also doesn't flatten your island or reset any terraforming or waterscaping, and nor does he reset any houses or remove bridges or inclines. Whilst Resetti doesn't remove these as part of the island cleanup service, it does make sense why he doesn't. In the case of weeds and bridges and inclines, we already have Leaf and Tom Nook who can do this job for us, so it doesn't make sense to take that job from those two and give it to Resetti. However, it is slightly frustrating that Resetti doesn't remove everything else. Despite that though, using Resetti will make your island cleanup far quicker than the slow and manual process that we all had prior to the 3.0 update, where if you wanted it to be faster, you would need to invite your friends over to your island and make them best friends to help chop trees and dig up bushes and move them onto other parts of the island for you. It is at least a good head start on you getting your island into a good space for decorating. Resetti also won't remove any naturally spawning items such as shells on the beaches or tree branches, and he also won't dig up any dig spots. So if those things are going to bother you or they're going to affect your decorating, you will need to factor cleaning them up as part of the process. So how much does Resetti's service cost? Well, Resetti is a busy man here, and the reset service doesn't come cheap. If you want your island cleared out, it will cost you 60,000 bells per day. However, this is a one-time cost for the whole day. So if you decide to reset multiple sections in a day, you won't have to pay for this more than once. It's also worth pointing out that the first time you use Resetti's island cleanup service, he does give it to you for free. So you don't have to worry about the cost of it for the first time you use it. There's also a sneaky way to get more than one reset service for free. If you time travel forwards far enough, you will find that Isabelle will have an announcement where she lets you know that Resetti is on the island and he has an offer for his services. If you speak to Resetti on that day, the service will be completely free, which is a nice bonus option to clear out more space if you're worrying about money. So who will benefit from Resetti? Anyone can use Resetti's service, and he is really helpful for clearing up your island, whether it's from one small space or the whole island. The players who will benefit the most from this will be the island decorators, as once you've hit 3 stars, the big thing that is needed is a quick and painless cleanup, which didn't really exist before the 3.0 update and Resetti was introduced. If you're wanting to get the most out of Resetti, the best thing to do is to go looking for him as soon as you have a 3-star rating. This will remove all of your placed items and clear up the flowers so that you can really prepare your island for the next stage of decorating. Once you've done that, find a day when Leaf is in and use him to clear your weeds for a cheaper price. This will leave the trees and bushes left, which you just then need to spend a few minutes clearing up, or invite some friends over to help chop the trees and clear the space so that you can start decorating. So if you've decided to go down the route of using the reset service and want to start clearing up your island, but want to be successful the first time, here are a few things to keep in mind. First of all, double check your storage space before you speak to Resetti. Even if you don't know how many items are on the ground, knowing roughly how much space you will have will at least prepare you for when you do speak to Resetti and ask for a clear out. If he needs more space, you'll be better equipped to make that space because you know exactly how many items you're going to be losing. And always use the preview mode to see what the space looks like, and don't skip past this. It's helpful to make sure that the area you want is covered with the grid so that everything is picked up. And if you decided to go with a beach reset or an island reset, you will get to see a larger view of what it's going to look like when it's completely cleared out, which is going to allow you to verify that this is actually what you want to do before you proceed with it. If you decided originally to do a small area of your island, but then changed your mind about what you wanted and want a whole island cleanup or a beach reset instead, you can do this without needing to find Resetti again. Just use the transceiver to call him over, cancel the interaction when he's next to you, and then speak to him again. You will be able to pick from one of these two services instead of being stuck with choosing a section of your island to clear out. Also, you don't have to do everything all at once. Because the service is there for the whole day and you only pay once for it, you can do multiple small areas to really get the island cleanup you want before you start decorating again. And it doesn't cost you a single extra bell, which is really useful if you aren't quite sure how large the area is that you need to reset. When you get into using Resetti's reset service, it honestly makes such a difference in your decorating journey that will save you so much time in the long run. But it's not the only 3.0 feature which improves the Animal Crossing experience. And if you watch this video next, you will find out everything that was new in the 3.0 update and why this update really matters for the future of Animal Crossing. And I'll see you over there.